Michael Bosey. Thank you for being here with me today. I got a recurring issue that keeps coming up with clients, particularly new clients who are coming to me that fit a certain profile. And that profile is they've tried everything via social and nothing seems to be working. They're having trouble getting an idea out there because they're being, well, frankly, governed by the algorithms that are out there and the fact that social is difficult right now in this current moment. There are a whole host of reasons why this is the case, why it's so difficult to get any traction in social these days. But that's not what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the advice that I'm giving to folks around the 3 platforms that are currently helping with organic reach. In my estimation, there are only 3 right now. And this is going to change. And that's because they're 3 relatively new platforms and they are motivated to help their user base get some reach, right? And you're not going to get this from the ones that have been around 15 to now close to 20 years, right? Facebook, dead platform. Instagram, Medium, Tumblr, dying platforms. Twitter and YouTube, active, but good luck getting some traction in those because there's just so much content produced. And neither of those platforms is trying to help anyone in general. And then, of course, you've got the other ones that are maybe the quote-unquote lesser platforms like Snapchat, Pinterest, Discord, Reddit, Twitch. You can use those, but you really need a different strategy altogether in order to attack those. Now, look, I'm going to say this up front. I'm not saying that you can't get reach on Facebook. It's possible. But it's just not likely given that it is a dying or dead platform right now. Usage is decreasing. There are only a couple good areas of Facebook. And this is the same for Instagram. Where I consider Facebook to be dead, Instagram will be there in 12 months or so. Medium's already there now. It's in decline. Tumblr's been dying for a long time. Like these platforms, you can do stuff on them. You can have success on these platforms. I have clients who are good at Facebook or who are really doing well on Instagram. I'm not saying it's not possible, but they're not going to help you. They're not going to help a new entrant or someone who's trying to push a new idea if you don't already have an audience or, number 2, you're going to pay for it. These platforms are largely pay to play right now, and free organic reach is a thing of the past, except for these 3 platforms. Let's get into it. All right, first platform, this may sound obvious, TikTok. Now, I can sense the resistance anytime I talk to clients about this, and that might be the case with you as well, but please suspend disbelief for just a second. TikTok is not just teenagers dancing to their favorite pop song. The algorithm is extremely good, and you can find that out quickly just by observing. But also, the other evidence at how good this algorithm is how scared shitless Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube are of the algorithm that TikTok has developed. We can argue back and forth as to whether or not that's a good thing, whether it's a net positive or net negative to society, but it's extremely good. And you'll see when you join that, at first, the algorithm doesn't know you yet, and it's going to serve you more of the young person's content. But all it takes is, not very long at all, a few cycles really, and all of a sudden it is feeding you the things that you want to see. This is an evolution in the way that social is, where they're trying to serve the content you will like, less based on the social graph, which is how all the other platforms are built. So that means you need a different strategy for this. And I will say from my own feed, it knows me very well. I publish short live clips, performance clips of music, and connect with a lot of indie musicians and people who are talking about music industry, playing live, performing, and all that. And that's what I get in my feed. Unless you think that's all it can be used for, I do see tons of other folks talking about very narrow topics, very orthogonal topics that they do deep dives in and are producing teaching content, which is in effect what you're trying to do if you're trying to propagate a new idea. So here's the thing. Get in there, observe, give it a try. It's best for you to do short 1-minute clips. apply the same rules of content marketing where you're trying to teach someone about something, you're trying to give generously, and you're doing so in a sequenced format because you are teaching, you're taking someone from zero to some level of knowledge that you can get them there. And TikTok is great for that. Don't write it off because of preconceived notions. My only advice to you is to go in with an open mind and give it a try. Next up, YouTube Shorts, which is in effect YouTube, but it is their TikTok copy. So in other words, it's vertical video, it's 1-minute clips or less, and they have put it into a separate feed. And you know that they're prioritizing it because all you got to do is look at the left-hand bar on the web version of TikTok. You'll see it's the second icon on the upper left. So in other words, YouTube is saying, listen, creators, publish stuff on here and we'll help you out with that because they need to stay in tune with what TikTok is doing or they're going to get their lunch eaten. Okay, so why do we care about this? They'll help. YouTube is Google and obviously one of the largest companies in the world, and they're going to help get you some organic reach. This is not the case with standard YouTube, where I can publish things there and get just a few hits. Whereas if I publish something in that format, same thing as TikTok, I can get hundreds, if not thousands of hits on these because YouTube is helping me, right? There's nothing that's different or special about the content per se. It's that YouTube is motivating their creators to use this platform instead of TikTok. So they'll help. So my advice here is take the help, right? If you're having trouble getting reach and YouTube is saying, hey, I'll give you a hand with that, why would you not try that? Right? So again, same sort of thing, vertical video, 1-minute clips, sequence them, make it teaching content, make it compelling, and publish it out there. And YouTube will help you. And keep in mind, this isn't going to last. Either it's going to take off and they're going to have a legit TikTok competitor, or it's just going to peter out, which, let's face it, a lot of Google's initiatives have done so in the past. So the getting's good right now, but it's not going to last. All right, and lastly, the third platform that I want to talk about is Substack. Now, Substack may already be in decline, but today they are still helping people find new subscribers. If you don't know what Substack is, in effect, it's an email newsletter where you create a post and that post goes to everyone's inbox who are subscribers, and it publishes a permanent version, like a blog, on a website that Substack hosts. So in effect, it's like running an email newsletter and a blog at the same time. And also they host podcasts, audio files, and they can do that type of thing too. And you can get payments from your subscribers as well. So that's the platform in a nutshell. And again, there are pros and cons to running your content strategy on a platform like Substack. But I want to stick to the point of this episode, which is that they are still helping creators get found. And again, this isn't going to last long, and we may be on the back end of this already because Substack had its initial sort of run up, and we may already be in decline, but I'm still getting messages in my inbox that say you are following so-and-so on Twitter, so you might be interested to hear that so-and-so has a Substack publication. No other platform is doing that in the way that Substack is. So keep in mind, there's an important lesson here, right? Is that it's keyed to Twitter. So you put your Twitter handle in there. And if you are connected or you have been using Twitter either currently or in the past and have a lot of connections, this is a good thing because this is where Substack is keying these connections to. But the important thing is they're helping, right? Try to use any other email platform. No one's going to help you make these connections. And I've tried the other ones that are the Substack competitors. They're not doing such a thing. Even something like Review, which is owned by Twitter. Even they're not making these type of connections. So again, Substack, one of these three platforms that will actually help you get organic reach. All right, so those are the 3 platforms that are currently helping with organic reach: TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Substack. Now, here's the thing. Yes, you're going to go in with an open mind and give these platforms a try, or you may just say right off the bat, listen, I'm not going to do short form video. I'm not good in front of a camera. That's not me. Or it's going to be too heavy for me to produce. Okay, that's fine. So maybe you try the more text-based Substack, right? You've got to do the thing that makes the most sense for you at the intersection of what you can produce and where your audience is. And I'll direct you to an episode that I did called Finding Your Media Fit for how to do that. Left a link in the show notes for you just so that's super easy for you to go and check that out. And just make your own determination. My only point with this whole episode is that if you want some help and assistance, these are the platforms that are doing it. All right, so I hope that this was useful to you and that maybe you'll try one of these out. And I would love to hear from you if you do and just see if these work for you or not. And one other offer I'll make to you is just observe how I use these platforms. I left links in the show notes so that you could see how I'm using them. Just observe and see if there's a way that you can adapt my strategy to fit yours. All right, thanks again for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode.